All right, welcome back. This time we're going to go over Amazon CloudTrail for machine learning governance. But before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with anyone you know taking the AWS Machine Learning Associate exam. So, CloudTrail is a governance, compliance, and auditing service providing visibility into AWS API calls and account activity across your environment. It captures event history for actions taken by users, roles, services, or applications through the AWS Management Console, SDKs, CLI, or AWS services themselves. CloudTrail is enabled by default at the account level for management events with 90-day retention without extra configuration. Extend capabilities to include data events for S3 object level operations and Lambda invocations, CloudTrail insights for anomaly detection, long-time archival in S3, and integration with CloudWatch and EventBridge for real-time monitoring. So, machine learning with workflows. All right, so CloudTrail monitors, secures, and debugs machine learning workflows in AWS. Audit access to training datasets stored in S3, track who invoked SageMaker endpoints and when, log changes to IAM policies or roles affecting machine learning pipelines, trigger alerts or Lambda functions responding to anomalous API activity, support compliance requirements like HIPAA, FedRAMP, and SOC 2 for regulated AI applications. CloudTrail isn't a model training or inference tool, but provides observability and traceability needed to manage and secure AI infrastructure. So, event types. So management events cover control plane actions like creating, modifying, or deleting AWS resources through operations like run instances or attach role policy. Data events track high volume data plane operations like get object on S3 or invoke on Lambda. These are not logged by default. Insights events detect unusual API activity patterns like IAM bursts or unexpected provisioning, requiring activation with associated costs. Each API event includes user identity showing IAM principal and access key, event source like EC2 or S3, region, timestamp, and request and response details. So, security. There's a default 90-day retention period in the event history view. Retaining logs beyond 90 days requires creating a trail log to S3 buckets. These trails can be multi-regional or scoped to specific regions, and you can query S3 logs using Amazon Athena. Optional features include encryption using AWS KMS, integrity validation of log files via digest files, access controls with fine-grained S3 permissions, and integration with EventBridge for real-time automation like alerts on delete bucket calls. And how much does this cost? So management events are free for the first copy in one region. Additional copies cost $2 per 100,000 events. Data events for S3 and Lambda cost 10 cents per 100,000 events. CloudTrail Insights cost 35 cents per 100,000 write events analyzed. You can control costs by enabling data events and insights only where needed using event selectors targeting specific resources. So let's tinker around with CloudTrail. All right, so you go to CloudTrail. And don't worry, it costs. So CloudTrail, you go here, click event history. All right, and so this will show all of the API calls that have been done here. A lot of sign-ins, some list organizations, but you can also see stuff like creating, deleting, whatever. And you can filter up here by date and time, read-only, false, AWS event ID, event name. All right, all of these different pieces, right? And you can also event source and event name might be the most useful. All right, you can also test this in your own system by creating an EC2, wait 5 minutes or so, go to cloud history, come back to this events and filter for terminate instances, right? Let's see, event size 2. I probably last time I had an EC2. Okay, that's not too far long ago. And then you can create a long-term trail, right? So where are we? Dashboard. Trails. There we go. From here, you can create trails, right? You say test trail. All right. You set this, enable this for all accounts or just this one. Use an existing bucket or create a new one. Enter the bucket name, encryption right here, enable or disable the KMS key, a new one or an existing one, which I don't think we have an existing one. So create a new one, log the validation, SNS notification, who you're going to send it to, new or an existing topic. So we're going to disable that, right? Tags for your system. Click next. Let's see, test trail. All right. All right. And this is where you get to the type of events. These are the management ones that are low cost, data ones that have an additional cost, insight events, an additional cost, network events, an additional cost, right? And then the API activity, read, write are always good. And then you can set this to exclude KMS events because this might add extra overhead, exclude RDS data API events because additional overhead. All right. And then the data events about the resources. And then you can show the rich ones you want to log so you can opt in to certain ones and exclude others, right? You can add this and then choose the inside types for API calls, API error rate, and then network activity. All right. Where do you want to have that going for? We don't actually want to have firehose. I really don't need that. All right. I don't know. Next, it's going to let me know. Let's just say S3. S3. Okay. And next. All right. So this is the review. You can go over everything, click create, and it'll start doing everything, right? So this will be entirely effective in your environment for compliance audits, forensic investigations, or bulk API usage analysis, right? All right, so we're going to cancel that. So for the exam, remember some essentials. When there's questions about auditing SageMaker endpoint access, tracking training dataset access, or detecting anomalous API activity in machine learning pipelines, CloudTrail provides a governance service capturing every API call across AWS accounts, enabling compliance reporting, security investigations, and operational troubleshooting through comprehensive event logging and analysis. And it supports regulated machine learning workloads. So thank you for joining. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and share this with anyone you know taking the AWS Machine Learning Associate exam. Thank you. Have a good day.